Please. Okay. Are we on recording at the moment?
Yes, I can proceed.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. All right, so Chinoso, we're going to start. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. We apologize for the wrong link. All right, so well, for those who might actually be watching this video at a later time, I will encourage you to do ensure you're available. You know, the live session makes a lot of sense where you have the opportunity to ask questions. I know you can see ask more questions, after you've watched this through the students' interaction board. All right, but we encourage you make yourself available. That's the whole essence of the whole thing. All right, thank you. I'm going to share my screen now, and I'd like to take you through the details we have for you guys. All right, so this is Suzanne. Suzanne, how are you doing today?
Fine.
All right, good to see you. All right, just a minute, class. We're just starting anyway. Um, I'm going to share my screen so I'm able to teach through the material I sent to you guys. I sent a 7-page material which I've called snippets. So let's go through that together. And this is going to form the sequence and scope of our teachings. All right, so we're going to be guided by these snippets. Snippet simply means a simplified piece of information. All right, so welcome again to Six More Tutors, and the class starts officially. So this is our first section, or immediate session. So we're kicking off immediately. All right, so well, I'm sure you guys also experienced. You know, you don't have to have taken the exam before. All right, but then maybe using your past questions, asking friends, relatives. Some of us are brothers who have taken that, and besides, you know, it's a digital age. So you make keys. I mean, you're just a touch away or a click away from some of the information you may ever need about this exam. All right, so for the English language, I prepared a concise breakdown where we need to understand that. Well, I think this makes a lot of sense, and that's why I've used the word concise, very brief. So, these are the expectations, all right? These are the expectations for anyone who hopes to effectively deal with this examination. The first one is you have to expect to read 2 passages. Yeah, there are going to be 2 passages, all right? And so my job is to see how I can take you through how to effectively navigate through passages effectively and efficiently. The difference between them is effectively means at the end of the day, we're going to have some text-based questions. Of course, 5 questions, all right? So there are 5 questions in company of every passage. At the end of the first passage, there are going to be 5 questions. At the end of the second passage, there are going to be 5 questions as well. These questions are text-based. And when you say something is text-based, it simply means, I mean, you can rely on the text only to deal with the questions. All right. Then we can also see very clearly that there will be a test. All right. There's going to be an evaluation on, I call this opposite in meaning. Of course, you know, technically speaking, we talk about antonyms. All right. But then let's look at the way it's the instruction we come. You'll be asked to choose the word that is opposite in meaning. Perhaps that's why I've decided to use opposite in meaning and not call it by the technical term, which is antonym. All right, we expect to answer 10 questions in that section, and that means here, basically, your language strength is put to the test. For some people who, for no reason, all right, have not really taken care of their language or their vocabulary muscle. They don't really build that muscle, all right? So yeah, they interact with their friends, but they are low-level speakers and they're also low-level readers. All right, so this is a time for them to know there's a need for them to move up. You have to move away from level 1 or level 2 to level 4. All right, so there are 4 levels in terms of vocabulary acquisition. So you have to move to level 3, level 4, where at least you familiarize yourself with the meanings and the usage of a lot of words. All right, so that is what, so people would tend to have an advantage or would tend to have the upper hand in this section are those who take time to learn words. You just have to make that a business. All right, so we have nearest and meaning. There's no difference between them because they are all about word acquisition, word familiarization. If you're not familiar with the word, there's no way to deal with it. Well, there are strategies. Yeah, we're going to share with you some strategies, but then experience has shown that the most reliable strategy is the awareness of the word, which we call word awareness, WA. All right, so word awareness is the most reliable way to deal with synonyms and antonyms. Are you aware of the word? Do you know what it means? When you do, you just realize that you only spend seconds or split of seconds to deal with the questions. However, if you have to keep thinking through, you need to ruminate through the words and their meanings, it takes longer time. And that's because the student is not familiar with the meanings of words. Now move to number 4, statement interpretation. Well, statement interpretation, basically students are asked to interpret some structural expressions, lexical expressions, idiomatic expressions. They're just going to be 5 questions. And sometimes too, they could be fewer, maybe just 3, depending on the digital randomization. So it could just be 3 questions one get. Now you see the indication, the number of questions we have. All right. The most reliable of them are 1, 2, 3, very reliable. All right, 4, you might not get 5 questions. It could be fewer, maybe 3, maybe 4. All right, but then we've put in this, but this is the upper limit. By saying upper limit, it means it's not possible for you to be tested beyond 5 words under a statement interpretation. Or let me not use, perhaps I need to withdraw the word, but possible. It's not usual. Yeah. So most likely you're not going to be tested on statement interpretation longer than, you might not encounter more than 5 questions. All right. So I just made reference to, um, lexical sentences, structural sentences, idiomatic sentences. You just have them, and you're asked to choose the options that best interpret them. But we're going to see their samples. I have their details, and the details will come shortly. Then we also have, of course, that's oral English. 5, 6, 7 represent oral English. 5 is stress pattern. Talking about stress pattern, I'm sure, let us start this way. I'm going to ask you guys to unmute now. I need your contribution. All right. How do you think the English language is different from your mother tongue? For example, I speak the Yoruba language, and I do know the English language is not spoken the way I speak my mother tongue, which is Yoruba language. And I'm sure the same thing is applicable for almost all African languages. So is it Igbo, is it Hausa? The way you speak that language is not the way the Englishman speaks his own language. So definitely, one thing you have to understand is languages generally are classified into 2. All right, you can actually make some notes. All right, this is also going to help you. Language generally are classified into 2. So we have what we call tonal language, and then we have what we call intonational language. Tonal is spelled Tonal. Tonal. That's tonal. All right. So you have the tonal language, and then you have the intonational. It's not, I'm not saying international, intonational. Intonational. All right. Intonational. I hope maybe, I don't know, maybe we might get some caption anyway. All right. So that's intonational. So these are the 2 classifications of languages generally. You see, your language, your mother tongue, my mother tongue, most African languages fall under tonal language. Take, for example, I remember in my own language, I don't know whether you guys also had that experience in school. In my own language, sorry, apologies, I'm going to try translate that. All right, so there is this word BA. Okay, look, there's this word. Let's say IGBA. It's a common thing we had. We had that experience in class, in our Yoruba class as well. All right, so I had that experience when I was in secondary school. All right, and that really, it makes a lot of sense later on when I study language. All right, so it's a Yoruba word, IGBA. We call it eggplant. Iba, that's eggplant. All right, apologies if you don't understand. I just interpreted that. That's eggplant, which some people call garden egg, but that's wrong. It's correctly, said as eggplant. So that's eggplant. The same IGBA, all I need to do is to change my tone. Then I'll get a new word. Igba. That's time. You see, it's the same spelling. Okay, you can call that homograph in language. It's the same spelling. I just changed my tone and I got a new word and I got a new spelling. You see, this is basically true for your language and my language. Okay. I think you have the same experience. Wait a minute. Okay. So let's see if you can help. What's the English? What's the Igbo word for bicycle? That's if Chinoso can talk to us. And but if there's a trouble with his, if he's having a trouble in that regard, Susan, do you have an idea?
So I'm actually Yoruba.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. All
Yeah.
right, Mr. Hillary, can you assist? Do you have an idea? I think he has left. Or perhaps he's busy too. All right, that's okay. Um, I think Igwe. Oh, I don't know. Okay, good. I think Igwe. I remember I've had that encounter before. And you have Igwe. Yeah. Okay. One is Igwe. One is Igwe. Apologies if I didn't, pronounce that correctly. One represent bicycle. The other represent king. I'm just trying to tell you this tonalization happens in your language, in my language, but this is not true for the English language. What the English language uses in lieu of tone is stress. The English language uses stress. And when you begin to wonder why, people talk about father, oh, is a reverend father, oh, father is coming, you know, you see, that's not true. There's just only one way to pronounce Father, and that's father, father. There's just only one way. So there's nothing called father. You say father is actually coming from the influence of our mother tongue. All right, our mother tongue has taught us to tonalize. So we then decided to tonalize that English word, father, father. We then decided to tonalize that word by calling father, which is wrong. Okay. Now, what the English language does is that in lieu of tone, it makes use of stress. And what is stress? Stress simply means pitchness or loudness. So when you have a two-syllable word in English, like so to speak, I'm going to pronounce wrongly, father. I'm going to pronounce wrongly, father. If you have it, that's a two-syllable word. Fa, the, two syllables. I pronounced it wrongly. Okay, good. So when you have a two-syllable word, fa and the English language is going to stress either of the syllables. All right. To stress simply means the English language is going to give prominence. We call it prominence. The English language is going to give weight, loudness, significance to either of the syllables. The English language would not pronounce the fa and the da the same way you would pronounce them where we can hear them. All right. It's going to make sure that one is pronounced with some audibility or loudness, while the other one is weaker. And that's father, 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 father. So when I pronounce word father, you can say the fa, it's louder, and the father, father. Well, so that's just the experience. Okay. And now you're going to be tested on stress pattern. And the idea is, can you tell which of these syllables is to be stressed? For example, in father, father, the first syllable is stressed. All right. So that's it. Then I'm going to show you some examples. So, but very easy. Honestly, I can tell you that. All right. So then you have still on oral English. You have vowel sound. Of course, for vowel sound, maybe when we see some examples, consonant sound when we see examples. Then we have what I call standard English. All right. So what is standard English is a text on lexics. It's a text on structure rather. All right. The opposite meaning, nearest meaning, they are text on lexics. Lexics means words. Lexics is a plural word. The singular form is lexeme. Okay, so when we talk about, look at our exam, the exam will say lexics and structure. What it's basically saying is that you're going to be tested on words, which is lexics, word, and you're going to be tested on the standardization of the language, how the language is supposed to be spoken or written, which is the structure. And that's it. So I call that the standard English. And that's where you get most of the questions. All right, you get most of the questions there. And that's what keep teachers in the classroom. You have to move from one topic to another one and all of those things. All right, so this is the concise breakdown of our expectations. This is what we're expected to deal with. All right, and you can rest assured we'll be able to deal with this by His grace. All right, so Susan, so these are the two students I've got at the moment. There are the two people present in this live section. I'd like you guys to may I know if you guys have got some questions, or perhaps you also have some contributions before we then go on to look at more details. All right, Susan, let's start with you first. Hello, Susan, can you hear me? Also, can you please confirm? Oh, no questions. Okay, that's fine. Also, all right, how about you? Oh, would like you guys to actually make contributions. All right, would like you to verbalize it. All right, instead of using the text, except when okay, so that it will indeed show that it's an interactive section. All right, except otherwise impossible or difficult for you. All right, so I appreciate you also, make your whole contribution. All right, so that's okay. Then we'll proceed. Thank you. So if you're watching the video again, now we're moving to the details. Now, the first part of this, we said we're going to be tested on two passages, and this is an example of the passage. This is cut from 2024, so this is the first passage. All right, so we're not dealing with this. This is just to show you a sample. We're going to be looking at the tips and the tricks, in no time. All right, and then we've got our 5 questions. Okay, I think I didn't number my question. The first one said, from the information in the passage, there is evidence. A, B, C, D will make a choice. Which of the following statement can be implied from the passage? We'll make a choice. All right, since the student state staff volunteers kept a record of their course. All right, we'll make a choice. According to the writer, somebody will make a choice. A rare disease will make a choice. Now, I wanted to see these 5 questions as being based on 2 different standpoints. 2 to 3 of these questions are testing explicit information. The remaining 2 are testing implicit information. Now, what is explicit? What is implicit? Remember, let's even put let's put your knowledge of ways to the test now. All right. So so let's get what's the difference between them? What's explicit? What's implicit?
Um, Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Good morning,
Well,
also.
from my own understanding or initiative, so I think that expletive and expletive, when we talk about expletive, we are talking about the this thing. Let me say how the counterintuitive knowledge of what the passage is talking about, like something that you will think about as something that the writer is trying to portray that is not there. Why the implicit is something that you can figure out that is there, and something that, let me say, it is not physical, but something that the evidence of the knowledge that the writer is talking about is there. So
Oh,
that's
thank
it.
you, thank you, thank you. All right, Susan. Oh, wait a minute, Susan. How do you wish to be addressed? Is that because I think I saw 3 names there. Is it Susan? Is that how you want to be addressed? Hello, Susan. Can you hear us? Yes, I have Susan, Grace. Yes, I'm asking, is it Susan? Is that how you want to be addressed, or Grace? All right, so if you can hear me, you can just put that in the text, so we just move on. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. All right, so yes, let's go back to Chinoso's brief explanation. All right, that really makes a lot of sense, except that um, you misplaced them. All right, you put them, you confuse them together. Your explanation was perfect. Your idea of implicit was actually explicit. Your idea of explicit was actually implicit. Explicit is the one that means clear, obvious, mentioned directly. In fact, another word for explicit is direct. All right, the information is directly mentioned. For example, when you read a story, okay, and the writer is telling you, um, yes, it's telling you Ashake is 20 years, Ashake is 20 years, he likes traveling, is fair in complexion, he has got milk teeth. Now, the writer is giving you information that information that is direct. And that's an example of explicit information. Something you don't have to bother yourself about. I know I know it's coloring. All right, some people call it color. What's the color of your skin? That's coloring. That's something. All right, so we know the coloring, and at the same time, we also understand its age. We also understand, the haircut and stuff like that. All right, so that's explicit information. Now, implicit information in a story, that's same as Shakeba, implicit information will not be about his abilities. Okay, is he selfish? But the writer is not going to mention the word selfish. But can you imply? Can you infer? I mean, looking at how it turns, is he careless? Is he skeptical? The writer is not going to mention the word exactly. Oh, Ashake is skeptical. But what the writer will do is the writer is going to use a lot of detailed, he's going to use imagery, create imagination, detailed explanation, actions, speeches, events to make us think about it, to make us come up with a final impression of Ashake. At that point, you can now say, well, from what they have said about this Ashake, even though the writer has not said this guy is reckless, I think he's reckless because there are clues. All right. So writers are going to provide you with clues that will help you arrive at that conclusion. All right. So once again, thank you, Chino. So just I'm sure you have a better understanding of that now. So the explicit is the one, the A, it can always help you. X. X means external. All right. X means external. So that's prefix. Explicit means outside. I mean, what something that is outside can be seen. All right. E means inside. Something that is inside is difficult to see. E means inside. So when you say explicit, outside information, I can see it. If you go outside, you can see anything. But what is internal, you cannot see that, which is implicit. All right, thank you. All right, so by the time by the time we begin with our teachings on passage, analysis, how to analyze a passage, how to be able to make a better impression of whatever thing is said indirectly. All right, I think we leave that for now. But of course, this is just for you to be aware that in case you have been attempting some questions, I realize that every time I go through the questions, I get 3/5, I miss two. Go back and check. Those two questions it means are most likely to be implied questions because they depend on you to infer. The information is not directly mentioned, not directly stated. All right, thank you. Now we move down to, okay, we talked about opposite in meaning. This is just an example. Of course, we do know, but I decided to reference. So this is question 21, 2025. The teacher announced that the class will be making a fleeting visit to the zoo. Apologies, I didn't highlight fleeting. Fleeting is the bold word, is the word in bold. That is the emphasis word, fleeting. All right, now we're looking for the word opposite. All right, let's see. Susan, I think you should need to speak to us now. If you can, I would appreciate if you can enable your mic. I mean, so we can have a compliment about the voice of the male. Let's hear the voice of the female too, as a contribution to this discussion. All right. So Susan, is Susan still with us? Susan, are you there? Oh, maybe Susan is a shy one because remember we're trying to put the question. All right, maybe or something actually or something technical actually happened. All right, she is she might be a shy one, or she's more comfortable, using the text. All right, if she comes back, we would ask her to make response, to respond to the question by sending, by using the text format or talking to us already, whichever one she prefers. So we're going to let her enjoy her preference and privilege. All right, so so I think you're going to help with this. You're just the only one in the section for now. All right, so let's assume she's having some technical issue. All right, so so please, I would like you to answer this question. The teacher announced that the class will be making a fleeting visit to the zoo. Then we have routine, brief, long, guided. So what do you think? Is Chinonso with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I
I
suppose.
think
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. I suppose we're buying time. Please go ahead.
I think I'll go with routine.
Oh, routine. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Opposite in meaning. Is that still your final answer? Just to be sure. Is that your final answer?
I'm not sure. I'm still contemplating the between routine and guided, so I'm not sure. Well, let me go with routine.
Okay, thank you. All right. It's just one of the stuffs we contribute, we just emphasize. Um, I like it when, just as I've said, it's important for us to take our vocabulary work seriously. I don't know if you can see, well, if you can see this, oh, I think this is not too clear. I'll have to take it off. Um, this is the notes. I call this thematic vocabulary, though I'm working on this. All right. And then what we have done here is to help learners. I know this is not too clear, but never mind. It's just to tell you that there's a work going on thematic vocabulary to help students really take the knowledge of their words seriously. You see, yes, Susan, just like I've mentioned, I understand it's blurred. Okay, we're having a blurry experience, but never mind. I think the emphasis is just that it's an ongoing work. This is an ongoing project, and so I call this title of this work thematic vocabulary. All right, it's not going to be available anytime soon, but that is just to tell you, the level of intervention we're trying to put in place for students. Using my glasses because I can see the writing. Yeah, that's okay. Thank you, Susan. All right. Now, you see, if you don't take, if you don't take, if you don't see vocabulary as a serious business, all right, and you don't change your approach or your perspective to it, let me tell you, I don't know if you're going to be taking some very, if you're going to take some proficiency exams, which I also instruct, if you're going to be taking exams like CELPI, I mean, there's going to be some trouble for that learner. Or you want to take SAS, there's going to be some trouble. Or you want to take PT, you want to take ITS, the academic version, there'll be some trouble. Or you want to take CELT or CELPI, there'll be some trouble. Or in fact, you want to take GRE, I'm telling you, I mean, it's a whole lot of vocabulary for you. All right, so the best time is now. Take vocabulary work as a serious work. Or maybe by the time we're teaching vocabulary, because we're going to teach it, and I also have a compendium. Yes, I have a compendium, or perhaps I should call it a companion, vocabulary companion. I have that. So what I did was, is a collection of the synonyms on the collection of the antonyms from your past questions, both wax and jam. We put them together for students to, to practice with and to help them learn words that are useful, words that you can call exam-based words, exam-based vocabulary. That will also encourage them to read. Guess what? These guys also repeat their question. So it's important you take it seriously. All right, so thank you. It's not actually fleeting. Fleeting means brief. So the opposite of brief is long. You know what? You see, Eze actually means a question, not because Eze is not an intelligent English language student. Honestly, one thing about vocabulary is it is intentionally done. All right, the vocabulary work. I call it work. If you don't do the work, you just don't know the vocabulary. So until you put in the work, or you put in the work, so to speak, you don't just, you just realize vocabulary is not working for you. You don't know them, you don't understand their meanings. Honestly, they wouldn't work unless you work them. So you have to be on purpose, trying to understand them, trying to know, oh, this is the meaning of fleeting, this is the meaning of these. I will teach you on how to remember your vocabulary, how to better learn them, where you can learn them, best time to learn them. We're gonna and how to successfully guess at the meaning of a word, even though you encounter the word for the first time. This is also part of the package. But when it is time, we're going to talk to you about that. All right, thank you, everyone. I hope we're doing our best just to make it easier. So what we're having here, just as I've mentioned, is the meaning section. And what we're trying to do is to get to be on the same page as I am. But see, this is what the exam is all about. It's about passage. You're going to read two passages, and the questions are going to be explicit and implicit. It's our job to help you make sense of them. All right. And also to tell you, you're going to be tested on vocabulary, synonyms, antonyms, 10 questions, on both sides. And that tells you it's a word based exam. UTME is word heavy. When you say something is word heavy, you can say UTME is vocabulary heavy. All right. Imagine 20 questions going into vocabulary out of 60 questions. It's vocabulary heavy. That's about 30% of the questions. You cannot afford not to change your perspective, not to change your mindset, not to change your mentality towards words. It is vocabulary heavy. All right, so we'll move on. The next one says nearest the meaning, but I'm going to skip that so we can. Anyway, okay. For the case for just for the sake of interaction, we have the word moribund. The word moribund is the focused word. That is the word input. That is the emphasized word. I cannot understand why Alish is serving a moribund administration. So you have moribund. And I was looking at the meaning. Easy. All right. It's okay if you don't want to respond to the question already. Maybe you just want to speak textually. That's also fine. All right. Can you respond to the question, whichever way you prefer? Orally, textually. All right. So I'd like you to respond to this question. What is another word for moribund? So we have four options. Which one? Oh, all right. So go ahead. Is it? Oh, sorry. Susan, can you please go ahead?
So you say what?
Can you please respond to this question? Question 31, 2025, nearest the meaning.
Mhm.
Yeah, the big word there
So
is moribund.
what's
The big word there is
the what?
moribund. 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 Moribund is a big word. So we seek the meaning of that word. So which of these options explains it or is a synonym? Oh, okay, you don't understand. All right, I'm sure you can still view my screen. I didn't get what you say. All right, okay, Susan, I actually just wanted you to answer this question. I'm sure you can see it bold here, nearest in mini, and this is it here, nearest in mini. Question,
Yeah, I
yeah,
can see it, but what is the I can see it, but what is the the word that
oh,
want
the
to
word
use
is
for the
moribund.
next meaning?
Oh, I said so. I said this word, moribund. Moribund is the highlighted word. Listen,
Okay, moribund. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Is it oppressive, prodigal, crumbling, purposeless?
Infamisa.
Um, okay. Is Suzanne trying to use, are you trying to look it up?
Yeah, I'm still figuring it out. I,
Okay.
let me see options first.
The first option is oppressive, in case that's the question.
Okay, it means something the outdated. I don't understand. Sir.
Oh, but we don't have updated in the option. So which of these would you recommend as a synonym? Or would you select?
I don't understand.
Which of these would you select?
I think it's D.
One letter, please.
Sir?
What letter did you call it? Is it A, B, C, D?
D, like,
Or B, prodigal?
yes, D.
D,
No,
purposeless.
D. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The answer is actually C. But that's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Um, we've lost Chinoso now. Getting to, I mean, technically speaking or literally speaking, he's out of the section for about 3 minutes. So I don't know if there's a way we can reach him just to find out. Hope he's fine. Those section continues. All right, so let's go on. The next one is statement interpretation. Question 53, 2025. Just as I've mentioned, it's all about, so you also get to encounter this question. Now, your expression could be idiomatic, it could be lexical, and it could be structural. In this case, you have an idiomatic expression. In our college, the regulations concerning receipt are a gray area. A gray area is an idiom. So if you don't know the meaning of that word, you will at best only guess. All right, you are at best only guess. All right, so let me save some time. I'm just going to tell you what this means. A gray area, it's an area that is not clear. All right, when you think about people trying to reach an agreement, they might agree on this, they might agree on that, but there might be an area where they are yet to agree. So that's a gray area. That part is not clear. The agreement is not clear, or the stipulation is not clear. So in this question, the correct answer is D. All right, then let's go on. We also have this stress pattern. I think in the course of my class, I did mention, and that was when I was giving the example of, the classification of language. I talked about the tonal language. I talked about intonational language, how the English language uses stress. Oh, you can't hear me well? Wow. Okay, just wait a minute. I don't know if Mr. Hilary is very much active in the class. If you were, I just need to be sure if you can hear me clearly, so we're able to establish the cause of the trouble. Maybe it's Susan's technical fault, or perhaps it's a random issue. Okay, I'm not so sure Mr. Hilary is in the section. All right, I think he has only helped us enable the recording. All right, Susan, is it better now? Can you hear me now? Hello, Suzanne. Oh, good. That's fine. All right, that's it. That's it. So you talk about the stress pattern, emphatic stress. You have them. You have insult. That's a noun. You also have insult. That's a verb. All right. So this is stress pattern. We're asked to choose two words that are stressed on the same place. Is it? We're going to talk to you about it. It's easy, not difficult. Question 43. Conspiracy. So which of these syllables received a stress? That is, which of the syllables are we supposed to pronounce loudly? Should we say conspiracy, or we should say conspiracy, or we should say conspiracy, or we should be conspiracy? Okay, all right. So conspiracy. Okay, so which of the syllables should receive the emphasis? Well, there are rules to guide us here to make it easier for us. All right, but then so we're going to move on. But in case you're wondering, the answer to this one is C, conspiracy. All right, so the sp is what is to be emphasized or stressed. All right, then we have question 58. Of course, that is just a piece of cake. Then we tested on vowel sound. Question 44. All right. So one thing about vowel sound is you see the way I pronounce the vowel. Some people call it vowel, da, da, da. So that's vowel sound. Well, this one tests your ability to be able to pronounce correctly. But let's even think about it. Um, Sometimes I'm not hard on my students when it comes to pronunciation because I just understand why it is I just understand why it perfectly makes sense to pronounce wrongly. It perfectly makes sense. All right, I'm going to give you an example. Okay, just wait. So we're coming back to this. I want to share a different link that will enable me to type. Um, I think did I get that from Mr. Hillary? Hello, Mr. Hillary. Did you send the prompt now? Okay, maybe we lost that. If you're still in this session, just a few seconds. Um, all right, so here we go. I'm going to use this blank sheet. Okay. I'm going to use this blank sheet to make some sense about. Now, we got a question on vowel sound, that's village. Okay, and this is what we realized that the letter A is underlined. Remember, this is just a walkthrough. We're not teaching yet, it's just a walkthrough. And we've got our options. I'll probably be able to remember them. Okay, yeah. I think we've got made. They might not be right. I think we've also got page. We've got made. Then we've also got page. Then we've also got what's this? Then we also have let's say we've got big. Then B. And so this is many. Now, you know what I'm trying to emphasize there? I said it's okay. All right. I'm not even hard on my students when it comes to pronunciation because for me, I just understand how justifiable it may seem to mispronounce. I mean, to comfortably mispronounce. And look at this word. This is letter A here. And can I tell you the right answer to this one is C? It may not make sense to you, but that's the answer. Okay, so the correct choice there is C, and that's big. Then you're wondering, does that make sense to anyone? And that's because this is village, not village. This is village, not village. This is village. And when you say village, the focus sound is that A, and that A gives me the sound E, village, E, village. All right. So I have made, I have page, I have many. They don't sound like E. All right, except big, which are the same E sound, and that's the answer. Now remember, I was talking to you about why it's pardonable when we see students actually mispronounce. I'm going to write some words here on the screen. I'll be able to make sense of them too. Okay, and that tells you when it comes to sound, you need to learn your words on purpose. Take, for example, look at this word. You have to be purposeful. Do you know this and this? Now let's underline the letter A. I'll need you guys to pronounce for me now. Just try. Remember, I've said I'm in agreement that it doesn't make sense sometimes, and it's justifiable why we mispronounce. All right, and that's why we are here to help you begin to gain consciousness of some of your words. And also, can you please help these two words? I want you to pay attention to that letter A. Do you know the letter A does not give us the same sound? Are you aware? Also, can you please use your mic? Are you aware they do not generate the same sound?
Yes.
Okay, so would you like to sound them? Sound both of them, let's see. I mean, you should pronounce them. Can you pronounce both of them, please? Is Chinoso there? Oh, I guess our man is shy. Or Chinoso doesn't want us to say, to learn his, listen to his pronunciation. I don't think pronunciation thing. Okay, maybe I don't like this pronunciation thing. Okay. All right, Susan, is it the same experience for you? You don't like the pronunciation thing too? Okay, okay. Oh, good. All right, don't worry. We're going to put it through. Very interesting. All right, so the first thing here is I'm just trying to tell you, I understand why this aren't, why it doesn't make sense to anyone. How do you tell me?
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah,
Ah,
Susan, would you like to pronounce them?
okay, sir. You want us to pronounce which word actually? Which word exactly, sir?
Ah, no, 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 no. Can you just even try for you? How would you pronounce these two words? Let's start out with.
Say versus say.
Say that again.
Say versus say.
Oh, God, good. Thank you. Save versus says. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. All right. So, you see, I just told you it doesn't make any sense here. And sincerely, you have to make sure you're not absent in our pronunciation section because it's going to be an eye opener. All right. Even though it doesn't make sense, do you know why this one is say? This one is says. This one is says. This one is says. The letter A here is giving you the same sound as the air you have in egg, EGG. The air you have in egg says.
Sir, most
Why
of
this?
the time, sir, most of the time, right? The phonetic word are also they are actually hard sometimes to pronounce. Those phonetic words actually.
Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you, Susan. All right, but
Yeah.
I can assure you, you make a better
I
sense
used
of
to have
it.
problem with those phonetic words actually.
Okay, so that's why we're here, six more tutors. We're gonna make a very big
As
difference
time
for you.
goes on, we have to learn it actually. Sir.
Okay, I can assure you,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you have a different
Yeah,
experience now. I can assure you. All right, so
yeah, yeah.
good.
Thank
So yeah, this is Susan and Chino. So the first thing to know is, and every other one who's going to be watching this video, all right, you must understand that the problem here is the English language is chaotic. I just need to say it that way. I'm going to type that, I think, any site. Say the English language is chaotic. The English language is chaotic. In fact, I know someone who said the English language is crazy. And when you say it's crazy, sincerely, it's crazy because this is an example of craziness. How do you tell me SAY and SAYS do not have the same pronunciation? What? Just by adding the S doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to show you. I think I have another example. Think about this. I mean, how would you tell me these versus these don't have the same Now look at. Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. Okay, okay. Just wait a minute. How would you tell me the BREAK and the BREAK here do not have the same pronunciation? For crying out loud, that is BREAK, that's break. And that's why we say breakfast, breakdown. But guess what? The breaking fast is break. Egg like egg, breakfast, breakfast. It's silly. And I agree, it's crazy. I mean, the student that learned
you. Sir,
BREAK as
actually,
break,
sir,
as comes,
it's
okay.
actually crazy. It's actually crazy, sir, because you said breakfast and like, my God, it's actually difficult to pronounce, sir.
Yeah, okay. One is a breakdown, the other one is breakfast. You see, that's the problem. So in the exam, let's in the exam, you see that doesn't mean, can you see that now? That's exam. That's what we call exam. All right. In the exam, this break, okay, let's say you have this word breakfast and the BREAK is underlined, and you have English left the, I don't get it. That's what I was trying to say. Okay. I think you're trying to compliment the father. Honestly, the language is silly, crazy. All right, so BREAK. All right, so you're telling me that the break here and the break here, I cannot call them break when they are spelled alike. So because break, and guess what? When you have BRE alone, it's called break. FAST alone, it's called fast. When you now combine them, BREAK plus FAST, what has changed? You say that's not breakfast, that's breakfast. Silly. You see, but guess what? This silliness also happens to be something that is intriguing about the language. And that is where effort is required. And that is where knowledge is required. So you now need to submit yourself to knowledge by making yourself available. So at least you don't have a negative perspective about it. Don't say, oh, it doesn't make sense. I'm telling you, I'm very happy you make sense of it. Yes, but I'm going to let you see the difference between them and other words. All right, I think lastly on vowel sound so that we can quickly move on. Okay, this is another crazy one. You have them. This is OR here. The Englishman says the OR here should not be pronounced the same way as the OR here. So I'm pronouncing as A. That's the way it's pronounced, not R. It's you guys, it's we that call it R. It's A. Like HA. All right, so the STORY and the STOREY. So we have the, okay, let's now focus on the OR and the OR. I beg your pardon? That's what we call OR, in case you're saying R. That's what I'm saying. So you don't watch the video and say, I don't care what the teacher is saying. Okay, so OR. But remember, it's R. That's correct pronunciation. So you have the OR and the OR. The Englishman says, my God, did you not have the same pronunciation again? So the one you call story, the Englishman said that's his story. So it's not going to be story. It's going to be story. So Susan, can you I want you to respond to that. That you cannot tell me
Okay.
it is story. How do you feel about that? But it's not story. It's story.
Okay, actually, the way we actually pronounce it is story. But now it's actually crazy. Like for me, it's
So
crazy.
Guess what, Susan? Now this is another
So
trouble. Are
alright,
you okay? Go ahead.
so is it story? Oh, I don't get it.
Okay. Let's get to isolate this one. You can hear. Oh no.
The English pronunciation can be crazy at times too.
Yes, it is. It is. But honestly, very interesting. If you get to just wait to learn it, very interesting. I mean, you're gonna. It's an exam you're gonna enjoy. Say, oh, I mean, you begin to look at them as this guy are not serious. I mean, you mean I don't know the difference between story. You see the first one. Like, can we label it? Let's call this one A. Let's call this A. And then let's call the other one B. Okay. So if you look at A, that is store your normal store. That's story. Oh, can I tell you a story? Not story. The B is the story. So she lives in a two-story. That's story. She lives in a two-story building. That's story. But the one you tell someone, oh, I've got a story for you, not story. So when you look at because of the semblance, all right, and that's what I understand why we pronounce them wrongly. So I take it easy with my student. I understand it's crazy. All right, it doesn't make sense to me that the pronunciation is not going to change. You're gonna have added letter. If you're gonna have letter, I've added Y, then or he Y. Sorry, something could have added E. It's going to change. It doesn't make sense to me. But guess what? That is just what it is. It is what it is. I will go with this. I will go with this. Hello, guys. Are you there? Hello. Are you guys there? Can you hear me? I'll need you guys to use a mic. We need to confirm. Are we having any trouble, any technical issue? Hello. Hello, Susan. Are we having any trouble? I can hear you guys.
No, sir, you're on board.
Oh, I've been asking some questions.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. It's fun. Oh, I see. Oh, okay, I think this is what Mr. Larry was asking me to do. And that makes sense. I think I'm going to learn how to do it. It makes sense. Oh, I'm okay. All right, thank you. Yes, sincerely. That's I said the craziness is actually the funny part of it. Very interesting. All right, so we'll go back. What have we been trying to do? We're just walking you through. So today's session is a walkthrough. I'm not teaching, just walking you through how it goes. So anyone who watches the video can see what they stand to learn. And if they're not available, what they also, but I'm sure we're going to learn. I mean, we're going to really, really, really learn. Okay, let's go back. So I want to change my slide. Okay, so we're back. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, I think I'm still going to get Mr. Hillary to assist me with some of these steps that I need to master. Okay, let's go on. So that's about synonym, that's about vowel there. And then the other one is about consonant. So this is it. Okay, that's about consonants. We have this is ed. Funnily enough, this ed, this is preached. That's another one. We call it preached, but that's preached. It's giving you like thick. Preached. She has preached twice. Doesn't make sense, but we're going to help you make sense of it. All right, so we'll move on to idiomatic accuracy. Now, okay, that's all about this. So now we get to the standard English. I'm sure you understand what the walkthrough has been like. Let's go back. We began to say, you know what? The whole of this exam is just how many things? Just 8. All right. So the first thing, what do we do? The first thing is passage reading. We've talked a little bit about that. Explicit, implicit, opposite in meaning. Yeah, a little bit about that. We also had a nice time with the word moribund and with the word fleeting. Statement interpretation. We'll talk about that. Gray area. Stress pattern, yeah, we talked about that, where you need to think of which of them do I need to stress. Conspiracy, is it a conspiracy or conspiracy? Is it a CY? Which of the syllables? We talked about that too. All right. And we've also talked about vowel sound. That was when we spoke about story, breakfast, breakdown, village, big, etc., etc. And consonant sound, we talk about priest, ed, sounding as t and not as b, priests. We're going to learn more about them. Very interesting, crazy, but interesting. All right, so now we're moving to the last section, which is standard English. This comes with 19 questions, but you will not independently be tested on the 19 of them. You will not independently be tested on the 19 of them. All right, so you will rather be tested on maybe 10, 12, but not on the 19. In fact, they are actually more than 19, but I found these 19 questions to be of highly frequented questions, and we need to really look at them. For every question you have there, it's a test of knowledge, and that means the writer or the examiner is trying to test your knowledge on that topic. All right, so let's quickly take you through the standard English. Where are these 19 questions coming from? 19 questions means 19 topics. So what are these topics? If I handle these topics, that means I can deal with the standard English part of this exam, which is the similar, the structural part of this exam. I can deal with 19 questions successfully if I master 19 topics. So let's go to the 19 topics. So for the 19 topics, the first one here, so now, okay, yeah. So for the 19 topics, the first one is what I call idiomatic accuracy. Idiomatic accuracy. Now, your accuracy is your knowledge of the idioms, one, then your accuracy of that word is going to be tested. Okay. If you look at these questions, he said it was a free for all, and all the students were blamed for taking the law. Isn't that a familiar idiom? So isn't that a familiar idiom? I mean, you've heard of don't take the law in that. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. Don't take the law, Isn't that something you're familiar with? Okay, Suzanne, can you help with that? Hello, Suzanne. Hello. Okay, that's fine. Okay. I think we're going to encourage our students to use more of the mic than texting. Yeah, it's more of the mic than testing. All right. So it's really going to make it a two-way thing, and that's when it becomes a dialogue and not a monologue. Yeah, dialogue is a class. A monologue is a speech or a presentation. Okay. Well, since you're not familiar with the idiom, then guess what? Most likely you're just gonna guess. You're just gonna end up making a guess. All right. So you can think about it. You can take a school. Oh, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna drop. Oh, okay. The material is already there. I was thinking I was gonna drop it, but you already have it there. So put it to use. There's also gonna be this topic. If you like, we can call it topic 2, Concord. Question 48, 2025 says each of the houses dash a new look. So under this Concord, there are things to teach. I mean, maybe about 18 things to show you to be able to survive questions on Concord. Maybe about 18, pieces of information to share with you to survive questions on Concord any day, anytime. All right, but meanwhile, why we're not teaching Concord now? Let's see. If this were to be an exam question, Suzanne, what would be your choice? Chinoso, what's going to be your choice? You guys can send this you can send this in as a text now. Let's see. Use your letters. Let's see if you guys are going to have the same letters. Each of the houses dash a new look. Have got, have, as, were given. All right, let your answers come in now. As, okay. Suzanne, how about you? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, I got that. Easy. Suzanne, can we have your response? Thank you, Easy. Yeah, has. That's fine. Suzanne, can we have a response? Oh, that's fine. Okay, yeah, you guys are great. Maybe you got a good Concord sense. All right, so the next one is pronoun usage, question 44, 2025. Pronoun usage. My classmate that I haven't seen for years. Okay, so there a lot to discuss on pronoun usage, a lot to discuss on pronoun usage. It really goes beyond this question. All right, let's go to the next one. I'm just trying to walk you through the questions. And the last one we have prefixation or negative adjectives. You know, most of us we are fond of using the word not. She's not aware. She's not friendly. She's not friendly. She's not happy. She's not let's say she's not generous. She's not faithful. We keep using not. Are we not aware that we can actually create a negative adjective through the help of a prefix? For example, instead of saying it's not significant, we should say something. Should we say insignificant, non-significant, unsignificant, dissignificant? That is prefixation of the prefixation on negative adjective. We're going to be also talking to you about how to make a negative adjective through the help of the right prefix. But meanwhile, let's get you to respond to this also. Um, so let's start with you, Chinoso. So what's your choice there? Why do you worry about dash matters? A, B, C, D. It's all about the right or the correct negative adjective. So which of these is the right negative adjective? Can you please send in your response? Negative adjective? Are you guys there? Hello. Hello. Are we having any problem with our network? What's happening? Susan, you are still in the call. I think Chinozo is out.
So can you come again?
Susan, where have you been? Where have you been? We've
I've
been
been
asking you.
around.
I've been asking you a question. Okay, look at question. Okay, this is preposition. I'm good on this question. Can you try attempt it? Now, it's about
Perfect.
negative. It's about using negative
On
adjectives.
okay.
It's
What
about
do you worry
negative.
about church?
You can use the letters A, B, C, D.
Star A.
Mm, okay. So how about you? Do you agree with that? I hope you're not going to be in agreement with that.
No,
Hello.
I choose B, non-significant.
Oh, is it because I said I don't want? I wouldn't hope you would agree with that, or that was just a choice.
No, no, I said B earlier. Those are because of
Oh,
my problem, not yet.
I suppose. I suppose. Okay. Susan, are you sure, or it was a guess?
Actually, sir, that was my
No,
final
Susan.
answer.
No, I know. I know that might be your final answer. I'm asking, is it a guess, or this is coming from
No, it's not
knowledge?
again.
Okay. How
I know
about
it's not again.
okay? If I told you that was wrong, how would you respond to it?
But I'll take correction and you tell me the answer that is correct one. No problem. We are good to go.
Okay. Susan, you're actually correct. So the answer is
Okay.
insignificant. Yeah, you're right. The answer is insignificant. I just wanted to be sure. All right, so that's correct. Um, so what there's also going to be a discussion. This is going to be about on quantifiers. The board has been having a series of dash. You know your quantifiers. Quantifiers are words that indicate number, quantity. Of course, you have them more than this. These are just evidential questions or sample questions. For example, these options do not cover quite a large number of them, such as most, much, few, a few, little, a little. You've got a lot of them there. All right. So we're going to talk to you about them. It's one of the topics. Then we also have tenses, one of the topics. Phrasal verb. Now, phrasal verbs are just like idioms. It is phrasal verbs are just like idioms. It is a combination of a verb and what we call particles. And the particle could be an adverb, a preposition, okay? And for example, the young man looked carefully at the long document, but he couldn't make dash what it meant. He couldn't make up, make out, make off, make true. You see, this is the fact. If you are not familiar with this phrasal verb, you would at best just guess, thinking about palatability. Maybe this one sounds more palatable, the other one doesn't. But can I tell you, can I be real? Can I be realistic with you? It's not going to answer to palatability. It's all going to answer to familiarity. Are you familiar with this? Are you aware of what it means to say, to make sense of something? Do we say make out or make off or make up or make true? Okay, so it's the knowledge of the phrasal verb and not just you thinking, well, I think it's like this. But let's go again. Let's go again. All right, Susan, can you send me your answer? Let's go again. Phrasal verb.
Let me let me guess actually. But let me first read the question and understand it, then I will send my answer.
Mhm. So you can talk to us if you have your answer. So I see there. Yeah, I'm listening. It's taking time. It's taking a longer time, rather. Susanna, you see there? Anyway, just to compliment our effort and to let you know, to let you know that it's a big deal. Phrasal verb, it's a big deal. I'm going to share my screen very quickly. Um, a phrasal book textbook, a textbook specifically written on phrasal verbs, just for students to learn and master their phrasal verb. All right, so I'm sharing. Good. But because of this section, we might actually make this available for the learners, at least for keep. Yeah, for keep. You see, this is over 3,000 English
That
phrasal verbs.
that
What did you say, please?
actually I think the answer, right? I have to figure it out because I read the question through and through. I think the answer is a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think that was not a question. You actually responded to a question on so if you look at this one, these are phrasal verbs. Abide by. So what does it mean? Account for. If you look at, okay, I think I'm very interested in act. You can act on something, you can act out something, you can act up, you can act upon, you can act on. They all mean different things. Okay, that's just exactly what a phrasal verb is. You have aim, you have, okay, no, let's just allow. You have allow for, you have allow off. Okay, and that makes a difference. Okay, you have answer for, you have answer back. There's a difference. Okay. Well, we're going to come back to that at a later time. So let's go back to our walkthrough. Today is all about walkthrough. Okay, so let's go on. Real and unreal future is another one. Real and unreal future. Let's leave that. Then we also have this one, very funny. Together or separate. Together or separate. That's the name I've called it. Together or separate. Take, for example, if you look at this word, if you look at this word at times, do you think this at and time should have been written together, or B should have been written separately? Should the at have been written separately from the times, or the same way? You see, together or separate. All right. So there are some of these words that are written together. There are other ones that are written separately. In fact, you also have a few of them that can appear in both versions. For example, all together. All together can be written either separately or together, but with different meanings. But with different meanings. So when we have all together, for example, okay, so this is, you can have all together written separately. So when we have all together written separately, it gives us a different meaning. And when we have all together written as one, Okay, then you also have altogether written as one. So that is it. Okay, so the one written separately has a different meaning as the one written, together. But in the case of at times only has one way of writing it, which is to write it separately. All right. At times is not written together, is written separately, etc. You have a lot of them there. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. Where's my where's my eraser? Uh, mm. Okay, so that's it. Then we have gerund or infinitive. Gerund or infinitive. There's also that's about ing or two. Then we also have word order. We have irregular verb conjugation. For example, how do you conjugate the verb split? Is it split, 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 or split, splitted, splitted? You know, so this it's also part of the thing we're going to be looking at. Then we also have confusibles. Confusibles are words that confuse. All right, we have LOSS, loss, LOSE, lose, LOOSE, lose. Then we have LOST, lost. Okay, they are commonly confusing words, so we call them confusibles. We're also going to help you, we're also going to talk to you about that, among others. We're almost coming to the end. Now we have what we call subjunctives. In fact, this question is funny. That's subjunctive. Can you try to attempt this question? I'm trying to, where is this? I'm trying to get my eraser. Okay, well, please can you study question, this subjunctive, all right? I want you to respond to this question. Subjunctive, can you please respond to that question? Hello, Suzanne, can you please deal with that question? Just give me the letter A, B, C, D. Could I ring him up? I would rather you dash visit him, would visit him, visiting him. Then the last one, visited him. Okay, is it chose A?
Yeah.
Susanna, how about you?
Yeah, please, that's going to put it obstructing the options.
Um, I'm not sure I got you clearly, but if you're talking about the options, there are, A is visit him, if that's what you're asking. B would visit him, C visiting, and then D is at visited. Sorry, no, D is visited him. Israel has chosen A, visiting. Could you ring him up? I would rather you visiting. Yeah. So we have A already. You can as well corroborate that if that's a choice, or maybe something else. All right. Can you please go ahead?
Can I see the question?
Oh, that's a question there. Is there this highlighted one? This one. Can you see it now?
Yes. You can't see it. No.
Is that okay? Oh, you can see it.
No. Can't, I can't see it.
Wow. Eze, can you please confirm that? Tell her to zoom the screen. All right, can you zoom the screen? Have you done that? Hello, Suzanne, we need to move on. Have you done that? Okay, maybe she's having some trouble. I think we need to go. Um, okay, Suzanne, go ahead if you want to say something. Okay, so we have conditionals. We're also going to be looking at conditionals, and we'll also be going to be looking at word choice, question tag, collocation, pluralization. I think this pluralization um, makes sense to me. All right. Chinazos, looking at question 24, sorry, the question on pluralization, question 34, 2024. I want you to see, what can you do about this? Can you make a choice? Is there, are you working on that? The adventurers ran into many dash. Okay. Oh, please go ahead.
I think
Okay.
B.
B. Okay. B is actually wrong. So we're going to be talking to you about tricky pluralization. You know, it's funny. We talked about it the other time that the English language is chaotic. Another word for that is a silly, kind of language, stupid language, funny language. Yeah, very, very funny because it doesn't also have a patterned pluralization. For example, it tells you, okay, when an item is two, you can add s or es, for example, one boy, two boys, one church, two churches, you can add s, you can add one box, two boxes, you can add es and s, all of those stuff. But then at the same time, that you just realize there are some words that wouldn't conform to that principle. And one of them is this that you have seen, deer. A deer is an animal, deer. It wouldn't confirm. So when you have one deer When it is one, it's there. When it is 100, it's still there. I have 100 there, that's correct. I have one there, that's correct. So this it maintains the same form, both in the singular and in the plural. Can you see that? And then you also have other examples that follow that pattern. Okay, another one is series. It's even crazy to think about series as being a singular word, not series as being a singular word. So the singular form is also the same thing as the plural form, series. Another one is summons. A summons is a legal document, a legal order in a court that you need to appear before the court. Summons, not summon, summons. That's a singular word. Summons. Now the plural is now summonses. We received 2 summonses this week. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. And some of them then have 2 forms. For example, if you think about syllables, syllabus has 2 forms. You have syllabi, then you have syllabuses. You have syllabi, then you have syllabuses, etc. You have all of those things there. Okay. So what's the next thing? We're almost done. Spelling. That's another one. But this spelling is this. I mean, this is something you can spell. You have been helped. You have been assisted. That's something, a song you guys sing in primary school, or we also sang in primary school. All right, HIP, I don't want to say it. So that I think you can spell this hippopotamus and follow that nursery rhyme. Okay, but then there are also words you think you can actually spell correctly, which you might not actually, know you don't spell correctly. And one of those words could be formula. Sometimes people spell formula with an R. There's a last R, formula, but the R is obvious, unnecessary. You can also think about something like confidence. When people spell confidence, like Covenant University, you see some people spell it as CON, when the N is actually not necessary. COVENANT. So I'm going to be talking to you also about some of these tricky spellings as well. Okay. Common errors. Oh, reported speech. That's another one. Reported speech. Of course, the direct speech and the indirect speech. We'll talk to you about that. Common errors. Common errors. I think you're going to enjoy a lot of that here. Common errors. Students might actually miss, a large number of students mess up here, and that's because they are vulnerable to common errors. They are vulnerable to, to that common misuse of certain words. All right. So in this case, it's about brother. Is it senior brother? Is it elder brother? This is just nothing other than the test of common error. It's a common error. And word and prepositions. Every word has its own best preposition. For example, the word interested is usually used with in, interested plus in. The word passionate is usually used with about, passionate about. The word passion is usually used with for. I have a passion for something, but passionate about it. All right, so that is word and preposition compatibility. I think one more to shock you on preposition. Somebody needs to give you a check. What is common is, oh, he gave me a check of $10, let's say $10,000. He gave me a check of $10,000. That's what is common. But guess what? It's not actually check off. It is check for. He gave me a check for $10,000, not check off as commonly used. He gave me a check of $10,000, not check of $10,000. Not check plus off is wrong. It is check plus for. He gave me a check for $10,000. You see, that's crazy, but that is it. So we're going to learn more about prepositions. We refer to that as word and preposition compatibility. Some words select their prepositions, and the preposition you think they select is not what they select. All right, now we're coming to the end of this section. There's also going to be a discussion on stative and dynamic verbs. There'll be a discussion on adjective comparison. I think I have some videos on YouTube on this, personal videos on my channels. Pronoun usage, yes, I have some videos on this, personal videos on my channel, my YouTube channel too. Thematic vocabulary, we're working on that. Short and long-term verbs, we're working on that. A lot of adjectives, yeah, apostrophe, then we have idiomatic completion, all of this stuff. So that's it. All right, you already have a copy of this. I would advise you go back, listen to this, watch this, video, and then set yourself in the right motion, preparing yourself for the best experience, and always come to class early. Make sure there are no misses. Have your brain material ready, and ensure your equipment, for example, your microphone is active, so you can make some contributions in the class. Thank you very much for coming, Suzanne and so those were the two people present in today's class, and also Mr. Hilary for being part of the class too, helping us with the recording. And for those who, of course, we expect other students to watch this video and get themselves very familiar with the expectations. All right, so next Saturday is the next section. Our next session comes up on Saturday. Next Saturday. Some people will say next week Saturday. That's wrong. You have that on the common error. Next week Saturday. That's wrong. Next Saturday. I'm going to say next Saturday, not next week Saturday. That week is wrong. You don't have to have it. All right. See, we're learning. And
Somebody has somebody somebody has to pronounce it the right way, like the way I
what,
say it next Saturday.
what did you say?
Actually the sounds are actually crazy. Because now you say that it's not next Saturday, it's next Saturday.
No, 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 no. It's not even a pronunciation. It's not even a pronunciation. All right. It's even about it's the addition of week. You say next week Saturday is the addition of the word week. Do you understand what I'm saying now? It's the addition of the word week. Okay, I'm going to see you next Monday. Is the addition of that word Monday. Okay, sorry, the addition of the word yes, week. I will see you next. Oh, sorry. I will see you next week ahead. Good. The addition of the word week. I'll see you next week Sunday. Is that what you guys say now? Week now. You guys always add week, week. I'll see you next week Thursday. I'll see you next week Friday. All right. So the week is unnecessary. All right. So adding the week to it is wrong. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
saying.
if you want to say it now, you cannot say next week Friday, next
No,
week
it's gonna be
Saturday. So
next
how do you
Saturday.
expect us to say
It's gonna be next
okay,
Saturday.
okay, it's supposed to say next Saturday.
Yeah. You don't need to. You have to take away the week. So it's gonna be so for us now. Our
Oh,
next session is next Saturday, not next week Saturday. All right. I hope you guys enjoy this
I get
section.
it.
We'll be here for almost 2 hours. Suzanne, did you enjoy your section?
Yeah.
Hello,
That?
Suzanne. I said, did you enjoy your
Yeah,
section?
yes,
Did you
I enjoy the class.
did you enjoy something? Did you learn anything new in this section?
Yes, I learned something new, like saying pronouncing the correct sound.
Mm-hmm. All right, then of course the UTM snippet is actually there on the WhatsApp, so put it to use. All
Okay.
right, all right. Chinozo, all right. I hope you also had a fun. You also had a nice time with us in this section. You put some fun too. Chinozo, are you there? Okay. All right. I think we may need to go. Our time lapses. Maybe he has some technical issue. All right, Chinozo, also thank you for coming around, and everyone who watches the video later on. Thank you. God bless you. We'll see you guys
Thank you.
next.
God
Yeah,
bless
thank you.
you.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a good night too. Have
You
a good
too.
evening.
And you too.
Bye bye, sir.
Bye. Bye. Okay, yes. I'm going to drop that on the WhatsApp so everyone can actually prepare for that. Okay. All right. So watch out for that. Thank you. I think we can go now.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.